Oh my god, a little bit of Jojo Siwa drama up in this.
Maybe when your dog runs away when it's TikTok time, you should take the hint. So Jojo Siwa is a topic of discussion yet again. But to be fair, when isn't she? If she's not petrifying dogs, she's starting fights with strangers. At this point, anyone can get it. But in a desperate attempt to keep her brand fresh and, well, alive, there's been a large amount of cringe, starting with the guilty pleasure music.
There has been. I think she's been trying to become Miley Cyrus, and I don't think it's been working very well for her. Oh my lord.
On the floor, and it's not the only thing. However, she did well to pull it out of frame like Troy Deeney against Leicester. But as an uneducated man, I felt the need to fact check this with a woman. And I was told there's pretty much no way that was actually a tampon. To be fair, I kind of assumed based on the fact that it looked pretty clean. But if anything today is going to tell you just how desperate she is for attention, dropping something with a top-down shot like that, it was obviously left in the edit as an Easter egg. The editors and the producers, they all would have been in on it. There's no way
100% that was left in there on purpose. Not only that, but if you jump up and down like that and you have it in, for all the girlies watching, isn't it very difficult to just shove it out in a jump like that? Isn't that why you have the string to pull it out, especially if it's expanded?
They only did one take of any of these shots.
That's also true.
Or not, these are big budget productions. And so the people saying it's just a coincidence, it's just a piece of Jojo's costume. How come this only happened to Jojo? Because no one would have cared if it was a dancer, that's why. I mean, to confirm it's staged, she literally reposted a video where somebody spoke about it. She also reposted a video of her with James Charles though. Didn't he get in a bit of trouble for allegedly being a bit dodgy around kids? So as a kids TV show star with a young audience, probably wasn't the best idea. But moving
Sounds like a Mr. Beast move to me.
Displays that she loves a bit of rage bait, she clearly is not built for it.
All of a sudden I walk past these girls, right? And they don't see me. Their back is towards me, and one of the girls goes, Jojo Siwa's bad, and like laugh.
Cool story. I didn't ask though. But you can't expect us to believe that you just...
Is it that weird if what you're trying to do is get a reaction out of people, and you get a reaction out of people and then they don't like it? Were you expecting everybody to like it? Not everybody liked Miley Cyrus's transformation. She went from Party in the USA, which I, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, really enjoyed, to she came in like a wrecking ball and smoked her throat back into the diggy grave.
Happened to stroll past a group of people, and you were the topic of discussion at that moment in time. Like, how dumb do you think people are? But before I play this
it could have happened.
Further, it's just so intriguing to me that someone can have so much fame and popularity, literally drive around in a Lamborghini, but you allow yourself to be so bothered by other people's opinions when your whole business model is to be controversial and get
that's the problem.
Talking, but you can't handle criticism.
And then they saw me, and then they got up and fucking ran.
Are you surprised?
I don't believe that part of the story. I don't believe they just got up and ran.
Seriously? They probably saw this video and thought it was the start of a new round on COD Zombies and they were on their last mag. Jojo has got quite a zombie-like aura, actually.
She does.
Once again, like I said in my last video, she just loves swearing now. Someone obviously learned how to swear at the end of last year and made it their New Year's resolution to just sprinkle it in every sentence.
Kind of like the South Park episode. Swear words.
I don't care. I know you were talking shit. Nothing you say is gonna hurt my feelings. But what did you say? Because I am so curious.
I don't actually care what you said, but I'm dying
But
to
I'm
find
curious.
out. I think she's losing the plot. But wouldn't you if you ruined a car like this just to stay relevant? I don't care that it's expensive.
Am I ever going to have a car with my face plaster on it? I'm not sure. I can't say no for certain. Because it would be really fucking funny. I always had a drawing idea of my brother as a chihuahua. So maybe I'd have that on.
Expensive. It's shit. Money clearly doesn't buy style or class. But
no, it
amazingly,
doesn't.
As much as I wanted to say all of this was fake so I could make a funny haha, the girls in question actually posted their own POV.
Oh,
and Jojo stitched it. But as a reminder, she doesn't care.
I don't care.
Okay, we're sitting at a coffee shop and a car drives by with faces all over it.
Yes. And, you know, obviously we're going to start talking about Jojo Siwa. And, like, even the people who are...
Yeah, Jojo, I'm confused too. Why would anyone see a car covered in faces and then talk about it? Gosh, that would be so absurd. It's almost as if that's the point. Like, genuinely, why would you throw your arms around like that as if it was such a whack take from the girl in the car? If my 1.2 Polo had my face all over it, I'd expect everyone to be calling me a knobhead.
Of course. It is a highly narcissistic thing to do. That's why it's kind of funny. But also, you get good advertisement. Okay, good advertisement. Also bad, really bad advertisement.
Basically, Zion and I were saying, like, it's so smart of her because any bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, any press is good press.
And so we're like, honestly, like, I'm not even a big fan of hers. I'm not even, like, you know, in the age range of her fans. So it's like,
Put your hood up if you have a fragile ego and you can't stand people saying mean things, even though it's your whole
Also,
business
she said
model.
massive
They kinda
fan
hit the nail
there.
on the head with the publicity thing. Not the
She went massive fan. I'm like, nah. Doesn't sound like they were massive fans.
take about any publicity being good publicity. We all know that's not true. Just ask Dr. Disrespect and Ava Chris Tyson. It's smart in terms of getting clicks from
Yep.
streams, but her reputation's in the mud. No one takes her seriously. And now you're stuck in some loop where you've transitioned genuine fans into people who will rage watch you and people who will just watch for the next cringe moment. And anybody can
Yes.
tell you that bubble will burst. The internet
Yes.
moves on. But people seeing that car will get people talking. But imagine hearing someone say they're not a fan, then mouthing massive fan. How fragile can you possibly be? But believe it or not, she goes on to do it
So
again.
basically, we were saying, like, any bad publicity is good publicity. So really, she's really smart about it. I'm like, we're talking about her. I'm not even a fan, and that's all we're talking about for the last 10 minutes.
She's got
is Jojo
us
Siwa, or,
talking
like, 5
about her,
minutes.
you know?
And so
That's a real gunfinger moment. Me when I sell out for free random girls to make a TikTok on me. But yeah, apparently someone genuinely trying to validate your business model is an excuse to call them a massive fan. But after the girls explain their side of the story, where essentially the girl in the back shouted Jojo Siwa is banned, she tells us that they did it because they realised Jojo Siwa's marketing was working. Her controversial rebrand got them talking about her. So for that reason, they said Jojo Siwa is banned, they mean talking about her in the car. But then they had a little laugh about how embarrassed Jojo looked at the time, and her butthurt reaction kind of confirms it.
I believe it because her way of telling that story was way too cool. And she is not a cool person.
Face turned
And then
bright
her
red.
friend laughed. I don't think her friend was laughing at her. I think she was like, whoa, like,
Oh my
that
God.
was bold.
And then everybody sitting outside started laughing.
Oh no!
Yeah, stop the recording, Jojo. You
Laughing
didn't have to
at
post
you.
this. But as if you genuinely think that you can get out of a car with your face sticker bombed on it, then be immune to people pointing and laughing at you, then to be so unself-aware to think that you're not the one being laughed at. That's quite spectacular. But yeah, for somebody
It
who
is.
wanted to stress how unbothered they are, you seem kind of bothered. But speaking of Jojo and her public encounters, she decided to record a fan driving past her house.
Every day. Every single day.
Here, mate, drive past my house playing my song for a TikTok. I reckon that'll bang. It happens all the time. But other than the comments being full of people saying it was them, which is really funny, guys, I promise, I saw the most Gen X comment ever. I should have known better. Why am I 50 and know the words to this song? Because you employ ears, pudge. That might have something to do with it. But whilst we all get earaches and headaches from JoJo's music, she's been getting aches of her own.
Right? My neck has been giving me problems recently, and I realized something. Realized I've done it a little too full out.
Yeah, imagine being so cringe that your body is telling you to stop doing something because the internet didn't get through to you.
Oh yeah, that was a little bit too mean. That was a little bit too mean. I mean, please keep going, but it's a little bit too mean.
Honestly, that's some achievement. Your skeletal system is saying no more of this. But one thing from that video that confuses me. Jojo says she's not for the kids anymore. You know, she's really cool now. She touches herself on stage and drinks alcohol.
Ew,
like
what
a
the
big grown
fuck?
up.
I have never seen this shit before. She actually touched herself on stage. Isn't that fucking wild if your mostly childlike audience is watching you? I mean, maybe not even childlike, maybe actual children. But I don't know if they grew up with her and is her age.
What is she doing here?
But that's kids.
Yeah, I don't think neck ache is your main concern. Your head may genuinely fall off. Not in a metaphorical way either. But why is she dancing around with kids and teaching them stuff if the new Jojo Siwa is very cool and mature? Maybe that's me being petty and overanalyzing, but this seems like a huge contradiction to me. To me, it kind of tells me that she can't leave
I get
the
your
old Jojo
analysis
Siwa in the
in-
past. And if that is
analyzing
so,
it.
then who is responsible for this rebrand? Because anybody who knows Jojo Siwa knows where she got popular from. Dancing as a kid. But as much as I like to occasionally come across as constructive with these videos, I can't help but just laugh at these dance moves. I saw an old video posted by the Empire State Building, but just listen to how awkward it is with no music blasting. Yeah, the stomping really adds to it in my opinion. But maybe the building would be a dream guest on her podcast.
Dream guest on my podcast?
But as I'm recording this, I'm kind of realising that most Jojo Siwa content that people see is against their own will. So apologies. But to be fair, you did click on a Jojo Siwa video. But speaking of people
I mean, he kind of got me there. I haven't searched up any Jojo Siwa content, but he's popped up and looked interesting.
not liking her content, Jojo actually tried to come across as self-aware.
Your number Jojo Siwa with 3.1 million dislikes.
Ooh.
I'm
I
sorry
don't think
that
she
they
likes
did this
it.
to you, Jojo. I will stop them. But to be fair, anybody with a cardboard cutout of themselves, well, you don't help yourself. The permanent anime voice does not help your case either. But to be fair,
What do you mean anime voice? She does not sound like an anime character at all. She sounds more like she's trying to become Miley Cyrus.
Million dislikes. That's insane. Dislikes aren't really even a thing anymore. Jojo literally has generational haters. But to be fair to Jojo Sigma, she took it pretty well. But if I was stood in a massive house like that, I drove my dream car, I don't really think I'd care about negative interactions either. But I don't think I'd say what she ends the video with.
I am the only person that can say I beat Taylor Swift on a list of something.
Influencers celebrating being on a list in 2024 is not something I thought I'd hear. Because for some people, it's been a rough year. But speaking of people having a rough time, the vegan teacher got
no.
back in. Nurse, one of them escaped the home. I'm not Jojo's biggest fan, but I would not wish an interaction from the vegan teacher on anyone. That's too far. She's had her fair share of controversies, quite different to Jojo's. But yeah, that's about as much Jojo Siwa as I can possibly deal with right now.